must be observational error. It can't be there. And I've detailed all these in the book, all these anomalies and all these things. And then you look at the extraordinary synchronicity in size, ratio, mathematics, etc., between the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun. Doesn't work with any of the other planets of the solar system. It works with those three bodies. And crucial to making that trinity, if you like, work is the position, size, etc. of the Moon. It's no accident that, you know, at the time the Moon crosses the Sun in an eclipse, it's virtually the same size when viewed from Earth as the Sun appears to be when viewed from Earth. And all the other incredible synchronicities between the positions of the Sun and the Moon in relation to the Earth at different times of the year. This is all part of the moon matrix, creating the Moon matrix. And the other thing, of course, that the Moon impacts on massively, even without any transmissions, as I'm talking about, is the hormonal balance and state of the body. And it fundamentally affects what we call the third eye, because it massively affects the Moon, the pineal gland, which is where we go beyond five sense sight into other levels of reality. So, like I say, the book's 700 pages nearly, so there's 355,000 words of stuff in there, and there's a lot to say before this stuff makes even more sense because of the connections and the dots. But, you know, when you look at the Moon, people will immediately say, the Moon's not real. It's probably a hollowed-out planetoid. And this is another interesting area, Rebecca, because that's what these Russian scientists said in the 70s. It's a hollowed-out planetoid. It's been, if you like, converted by an intelligence that is vastly, stunningly in excess of what humans can do now. And this is an important point. If you look at what is possible only on the basis of what we perceive to be possible in human society, and that's only human society we know about, by the way, then
right.
you're never going to understand what's actually going on, because we're dealing with non-human races that are vastly ahead technologically of where we're at. But when you go through the science of the Moon, as one scientist said, the Moon is inside out, because what's on the surface really should be inside. Well, what's what they've said, it's been hollowed out. And then I called Credo Mutwa, after I put all this together, my great friend, the Zulu shaman and official historian of the Zulu nation. And I didn't say to him, hey, Credo, I've come up with all this stuff, what do you think? I said, quite simply, can you tell me any Zulu legends? And I found the Zulu legends and accounts to be incredibly accurate over the years, wonderfully symbolic of what you might call scientific truths. And I said, can you tell me any Zulu legends about the Moon? And he said, yes. He said, Zulus believe that the Moon comes from a long way away. It comes from basically from the region of the Orion constellation. And that two serpent gods, he gives them a name in Zulu lore, created it by hollowing out the Moon to create this interstellar craft, if you like. And he said that's why we symbolize the Moon, and incidentally so many other ancient cultures do, as an egg, because they symbolized it as the yolk of the egg being taken out. And then he said it was rolled across the sky to the Earth, and when it arrived, it caused massive devastation on the Earth. And when you then look at the ancient legends about catastrophic geological and biological events, which every ancient culture talks about, and one of the common themes is that the Earth turned over. Well, the Earth is at the angle it is because of its effect and interaction with the Moon. We have seasons because of the Earth's angle to the Sun, and we have the angle to the Sun because of the Moon. So the seasons were created by the Moon, or are created by the Moon. And it affects the speed of the Earth's spin. It fundamentally affects life on Earth, the Moon. And when you put the Zulu legends together with the science, as I have in the book in great detail, they complement each other in a stunning way. And what is happening now is that as this vibrational change from the sun, as a result of the vibrational change from the black hole, is now starting to impact itself on human perception, they are battening down the hatches to try to keep the moon matrix in control of human perception. So this is one of the key reasons, if not the key reason, for the HARP technology in Alaska, and they've got other parts of it now in different parts of the world. It's a sub-reality. They're creating a sub-reality to underpin the moon matrix so that we do not go with this changing energetic information, energetic communication that is changing coming from the sun. It's to hold humanity in servitude in the five senses. And this is where the microchips come in, because they want to destabilize the body externally and hold us in the moon matrix vibrational field. This is why they're feeding us food and drink additives that are destabilizing and imbalancing the body electrochemically. It's again to stop us going and connecting with this vibrational change. And this is why they want surveillance and control of people, and the fear of all these different things that are going on, wars and climate change and fear of, even now, fear of law enforcement, fear of all this stuff. It's to hold us in this emotional, therefore vibrational state that holds us in the moon matrix. And those who are able to go beyond that, they are looking at the world in a completely different way, which literally those who haven't gone beyond it simply can't compute. They look at you and they think you're crazy. That's impossible. No, it's your sense of possibility is limited because of what you're tuned to. Tune out of it, and anyone can do it, and suddenly everything will start to fall into place very fast. It's like Sleeping Beauty waking up. And this is why, as we talked about earlier, Rebecca, you've got people waking up now, breaking out of this moon matrix, I would say, who suddenly go, wow, why didn't I see this before? It's so obvious, because you were tuned to something else before. That's why.
Right, you're still in the lower density energetic space.
Yeah.
And and another thing is that as you look at the moon, David, throughout all of our lives, the moon is in effect control of the emotions.
Exactly.
During the full moon, you notice that people, it seems like literally people just kind of like drool and stuff. They lose their brain. It's like the werewolf coming out or something. And then, when the moon goes into the new moon phase, so to speak, then people have a tendency to calm down a little bit. But, when you start looking at that and, this whole premise of that, and you start looking at that and you're going, well, isn't that interesting? Because that very nature of the up and down emotions also would keep the human being off guard, off-centered, not being able to focus, because one day you feel like you need to go out and beat people up, and then a couple weeks later you just want to sit and do the Om thing or whatever. I mean, it is very carefully constructed, and that's what my guidance has been talking to me is about. The infiltration of every single thing has just been very carefully constructed. I mean, the minds that put this matrix, this moon matrix, or whatever it is, together. I mean, oh my goodness, David, this is one heck of a program.
This is how they do it.
Wow.
This is how they do it. And one of the key ways that they connect us to the hive mind and the moon matrix is through the reptilian brain. I've said in the book, we have this reptilian brain, what scientists call the R complex, which is our so-called survival mechanism. It's where we get fight or flight from. Flight. It sees everything in terms of will I survive or won't I survive. That's not just physically. That's will I survive financially? Will my partnership survive? Will I keep my job? It's all about anything to do with survival is the reptilian brain reacting. And so, again, what are we looking at? We're looking at a society that is based on keeping people systematically in a state of fearing not surviving, whether it's financially or in any other way.